makes his 4th consecutive start for the injured Patrick Ramsey, who is here today, not in uniform. And the give to Robert Cartwright on first down, and he is hit for a loss. Bears ranked 14th defensively in the National Football League. Keith Traylor is out with a knee injury, so Alfonso Boone makes his 6th start of the season. Ryan Urlacher heading to his 4th consecutive Pro Bowl. Gary Azuma going as well, based on the job he has done on special teams as a return for their first possession. Kasim Mitchell getting the start once again for the injured Mike Gandy at left tackle. Olin Kreutz heading to his 3rd consecutive Pro Bowl. Anthony Thomas averaging over 100 yards on the ground here at home this season. Des White, the Bears' leading receiver. Rex Grossman, his numbers last week in his first NFL action, the win over the Vikings. On offense and have turned the ball over twice. 3 wide receivers set on first down. Grossman airing it out. Caught by Booker. Marty Booker. Touchdown. 59 yards.
First NFL touchdown for Rex Grossman. In the wind, in Soldier Field, against his former college coach, Rex Grossman, and the era has just begun. Against a Pro Bowl corner in Champ Bailey. And it's like the whole team wants to celebrate. And like I said, that's why the optimism in Chicago is like unlike any other team not going to the playoffs. There's reason to be excited here.
A 59-yard touchdown pass, and then Grossman sprinted 50 yards to retrieve the football.
Heck yeah. Put it in the trophy case. Watch this. I mean, it's one-on-one. Champ Bailey and Marty Booker. Watch Champ Bailey. He looks back for just a second. As soon as he looked, Booker didn't stop. And he got the little bit of separation. And then Grossman threw a strike. So while Tim Hasselbeck hasn't come close to completing a pass, Rex Grossman here puts the ball, couldn't make it any more perfect.
Not only does Rex Grossman throw his first NFL touchdown against his former coach, Steve Spurrier, but Marty Booker's cousin is the Redskins offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Hugh Jackson. Marty Booker, the 4th touchdown of the season. It's been a troubled year for Marty with the injury that he suffered against New Orleans, struggled to get back. But he's going right to the fans, and that's what the Bears players thinks about it. Oh, shit. No. What is he on?
The netting for the field goals.
Oh, okay. I was going to say. He almost... You know, you haven't had much practice getting in the stands this year.
Don't call him Spider-Man.
Oh. Sent him a scholarship offer. And it ended the recruiting process right there.
Redskins start from their own 26-yard line, and a solid effort by the Bears front to knock Cartwright back for a loss of a yard.
Rex Grossman at the injuries to Liddell Betts and Trunk Candidate, and that's been pretty much the story all year, just about every position for the Redskins.
Barker's 3rd punt, taken at the 33 by R.W. McQuarters. 2 penalty markers. McQuarters into Redskins territory. R.W. McQuarters celebrating his 27th birthday today. A return of 28 yards, but there are 2 flags.
Batten him up a little bit.
Bears start from their own 26-yard line. Off the play fake. Grossman steps up. Can't find anyone downfield. Now throws, and it's caught by Ahmad Merrick at midfield. Only his 3rd catch of the season. And it's a pickup of 25 yards.
Oh, that's a heck of a play. I mean, this is a great play here as he huddles the team up. But watch him in the pocket here. By time, keeps his head up the whole time. His head never drops. And then in this win, finds Ahmad Merritt open in the middle of the field. And he kept that play open a long time. That's two great throws by Grossman back-to-back. Last series of this one.
Up the middle, Anthony Thomas down to the 43-yard line. Gain of 6. Matt Bowen made the tackle.
You know, look, it's no secret that Dick Duran is in battle here in Chicago. Does he stay? Does he go? But
Rabi Abdullah in the backfield. And some trickery from Dick Duran. It's Des White on the end around. White all the way down to the Redskins' 29-yard line.
Rex Grossman trying to get in that convoy there on the double reverse. They hand the ball off to Bobby Wade here. And then Bobby Wade hands it to Des White. Rex Grossman got a little bit of a piece. Rabi Abdullah gets a good block on the corner. And the Bears stay alive and convert. I think this guy right here is going to be a difference maker.
Inside handoff to Bobby Wade. And he's brought down at the 21-yard line by Rashad Bauman. Third down and 2.
Nice.
Pritchett inside the 10, inside the 5, brought down at the 2.
I think Rex Grossman thinks he's back at the University of Florida. I mean, some creativity in this offense. Watch Pritchett. He's going to sneak out over here. All the motion's going to go that way. Make a reverse, which they've shown. The Redskins, nobody picks up Pritchett. That's a breakdown because somebody should have the fullback on the play.
Out to attempt a chip shot, a 19-yarder. Maynard the holder. Ettinger extends the Bears lead to 10-3. Final minute of this first quarter from Soldier Field. Anthony Thomas splits through and has a first down into Redskins territory. A 14-yard gain for Thomas.
Now look, the Redskins' leading tackler is Jeremiah Trotter. But when there's a big play run up the middle, Jeremiah Trotter either takes himself out of the play or he guesses wrong. See, he overran that play in the middle. He gave himself up, and then the A-train was able to slip through that hole vacated by Jeremiah guessing on the play. It doesn't look like anybody could stop him, but Tillman did last week.
On second down, here's Cartwright looking to turn the corner. And is bottled up. No gain on the play. Phillip Daniels.
Zuma and with Tillman than they were with Walt Harris a couple of years ago in R.W. McQuarters.
Walt Harris now in Indianapolis. McQuarters backpedaling to the 40. Into Redskins territory. Inside the 30. Finally forced out of bounds. At the 27-yard line, a 33-yard return by R.W. McQuarters.
And when R.W. McQuarters went out of the lineup as a starter, he became the starting punt returner. And now as the punt returner and the nickel defensive back, that's his role in the team. And that's what Dick Duran has done throughout the year. See a good wall here. Good block there by Rabi Abdullah. Guys picking up blocks coming down the field.
Now second and 10 from the 28. 3 wide receivers. The give to Thomas. And Thomas brought down at the 23-yard line by Ifeanyi Ohalete after a gain of 5. 4 wide receivers. Bears have to get to the 18 for a first down. Pass caught by Bobby Wade. And a good second effort to pick up the first.
Bobby Wade doesn't know which way the first down is. These rookies don't play like rookies anymore. This kid works the middle of the field very well. They've given it to him on reverses. On third downs, he's been exceptional here the last 6 weeks. Just working the middle of the field here. It's a field. You got to find the opening. And then you got to have good hands because you're going to get hit. I mean, Trotter, Armstead, they all take a whack at him there, and he slips through for the first down.
5th round draft pick out of Arizona. From the 17, Thomas. Down to the 12-yard line, gain 5. Three wide receivers set, 3rd down and 8. Grossman to the tight end, Desmond Clark. And he's tackled at the 12-yard line, about 4 yards shy of the marker, so the Bears will send out the field goal unit once again.
Just kind of hanging on right now.
Empty backfield for the Redskins. They start from the 20. Hasselbeck, down he goes, back at the 17-yard line. Looked to escape initially, and then was finished off by Brian Robinson.
And they came on the outside with the blitz right off. That's a blocking breakdown right there. That's Philip Daniels who came in. John Jansen, the right tackle, blocked down. Nobody was out there to pick him up. And it was an empty backfield, so that was a protection breakdown. You can't leave the end all by himself with no. That's number 200, and he's looking for more.
Empty backfield on 2nd and 15. Grossman complete to Booker, brought down by Jeremiah Trotter.
A couple of 4 interceptions. Here they come again.
Flip to Morton. And he's chased down by Urlacher. Brian Urlacher using his speed to tackle Morton for a loss of 2.
Watch this, Kenny. As soon as that ball is pitched, Urlacher puts his track shoes on. And watch this. This ball gets pitched, there's no hesitation. Follow the ball. I mean, that's the easiest play that Brian Urlacher can make right there, because that's all about his ability of speed. No reading, no indecision. As soon as that ball is pitched, you know where the play is going. Lost all of 4 games, lost 7 games at Florida. Hadn't lost a game in the NFL.
Everybody out. Short pass to Bobby Wade. Time winding down. And that will do it for the first half. First half has come to an end. 22nd overall pick in this past year's draft. Anthony Thomas. Thomas out to the 39-yard line for a gain of 7.
That's really what I expected to see a lot more of the A-Train. He only carried the ball 8 times in that first half on defense last week.
Fabricate 189. 2nd and 3, inside handoff to Stanley Pritchett. Pritchett into Redskins territory to the Washington 44. Before he's finally brought down out of bounds by Matt Bowen. 18 yards, longest run of the season for Pritchett.
Well, any big run against the Redskins, you got to say, where is Jeremiah Trotter? Where is he, and what did he do on the play? A little misdirection, but he froze there for a second. Didn't find the ball fast enough, and that allowed that crease. I mean, that's his play. Of course, Jesse Armstead got knocked off pretty good there, too, by the guard, Steve Edwards. So the both inside starters just kind of calm himself down.
Grossman on 3rd and 7. Complete. First down to Marty Booker. Even Steve Spurrier, when we asked the Redskins coach about Grossman, first thing out of Spurrier's mouth, he's very excitable.
Here, by the time it hits the pad, it's already caught.
From the 33, new set of downs for the Bears. Thomas down to the 26-yard line of the Redskins, a gain of 8.
You see, now they're blocking the middle linebacker, Jeremiah Trotter. And they're doing that because the offensive line is getting to the second level, the level of the linebackers. Watch it over here. Chris Valerial and Olin Kreutz here. So right there, there's Valerial on Jesse Armstead.
Chris Valerial, the senior member of the Bears, who's been a Bear since '96.
5 touchdowns, but he watched a lot of highlights of his dad. Said Ditka caught a heck of a touchdown pass in the back of the end zone.
There's Thomas on 3rd and 1. Has the first down. Steve Spurrier, the Heisman Trophy winner back in 1966.
It's going to be a blur, and he said it wasn't like that. He said he really saw the field very well, sure about what he was doing.
Pass complete to Gage. And The rookie out of Missouri takes it all the way down to the 5-yard line. A 13-yard pickup.
There's an example. He's got one-on-one coverage on the outside with Gage, and he delivered a strike. This Justin Gage is working himself right into the starting lineup, the rookie. He just keeps getting bigger, better and better. It used to be that he was just kind of going out there catching jump balls because he had such a height advantage and a reach advantage. Now he's running the slants and the digs. You're getting him involved.
Now heading back into the huddle, play clock down to 10.
I guess the signal in his helmet cuts off at 15 seconds, so he didn't get the play in that time.
Bears got the snap away. The pitch to Thomas with Pritchett leading the way. There's a flag and a touchdown. Anthony Thomas into the end zone, but there is a flag.
Usually misses high.
3rd and goal. Grossman dumps it off to Gage, and he is in for the touchdown, his 2nd of the season. On 3rd and goal, 11-yard touchdown pass from Rex Grossman to Justin Gage. And with the extra point, the Bears will tie the score.
Second touchdown passing. You can't take the enthusiasm of a rookie quarterback out of it. I mean, it's just too much fun. That's a good drive there to start the 3rd quarter. 13 plays. A little bit of a mix there of Anthony Thomas and some good throws by Grossman.
Ettinger the extra point. Touchdown connection from one rookie to another.
That rookie connection is strong on this team. We'll take a look here at some of the first-year quarterbacks this year coming into today. This is before today now. Byron Leftwich in Jacksonville picking over for Mark Brunell. Kyle Bowler in Baltimore can't get that job back. Hey, Grossman, Leftwich right now with the most playing time, but it's tough to get on the field, and when you do, I mean, most young guys struggle. Certainly doesn't look like a team that's going to be home for the playoffs.
Anthony Thomas. Tackled by LeVar Arrington out at the 29-yard line. Looks to have the first down.
You know, a couple of years ago, Jeremiah Trotter was in the Pro Bowl. Him and Brian Urlacher were the NFC representatives, and for good reason. I mean, Trotter made a lot of plays in Philadelphia. But he had a knee injury on Thanksgiving last year in Dallas, and then he's in a completely different system to be 5.5 yards off the ball and read plays. And he's not the same player. He's running around that block right there.
Penalty marker as Pritchett gains 7 out to the 37-yard line.
They had something already built there. Then they just added to it with Terrence Newman this year.
3rd down and 6. Bears have to get to the Redskins 49, and they do as the catch is made by Justin Gage in Washington territory for a gain of 10. And LeVar mentioned 3 teams in particular.
We got a lot of good young players here. You know, we got to be able to build this thing and add to it.
From the 45, Thomas down to the 39-yard line, gain of 6.
Well, we're talking about the Redskins defense, but this Chicago Bear offense is impressive looking to me. There's balance. There's some ingenuity to it right now. Rex Grossman's getting in and out of the huddle. They're not turning the ball over. Fantastic split for it. I mean, he doesn't look 380 when he gets down to stance like that.
Grossman rolling right on 3rd and 1. And the catch was made by Thomas. Bears don't throw to Anthony Thomas very often. That's only his 6th reception. And he does a good job staying in bounds and picking up the first down. Nor Cordell Stewart have done this year, and that's throw 2 touchdown passes in a game. From the 29-yard line, Thomas, big hole. Down to the 13. 16 yards for the A-Train.
And this is just the way you want to draw up offense. Keep the defense out there on the field, wear them down, and then put your power back here, your factor back. Just a cutback right behind Aaron Gibson. These are 2 of the best drives I've seen the Bears have all season long. Good balance, Throwing the ball down the field, converting third down, staying on the field.
Thomas again. Down to the 10.
Anthony Thomas, the ball carrier.
LeVar Arrington made the tackle. 3-yard pickup. Setting up second down and 7 of this third quarter. Looking to take the lead. 2 tight ends. Off the fake pitch. Handoff to Stanley Pritchett. And Pritchett, who has carried now 5 times for 30 yards, gets down to the Redskins 4.
There's a lot of different type of plays here from the Bears. You just see this little counter action here, the old scissors play. Remember the scissors? You know, you've grown up in Pop Warner. Go to the right and hand the ball back off, going to the left. Optimism in this kind of fan base.
On first and goal, the give to Thomas, and he is in for the touchdown. Anthony Thomas with his 6th touchdown of the season. Also reaches the 100-yard mark for the 4th time this year. All 4 coming here at Soldier Field.
Yeah, the holidays have a good feel to it in Chicago. Got a little break in the weather today. No snow this year, and Rex Grossman on the field, converting third downs, and then the A-train running. It's a good combination.
Anthony Thomas, my fantasy pick on the pregame show.
Very good job by you, Kenny.
FoxSports.com fantasy selection. Some locomotion from the A-train. Bears 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns this quarter. Field, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears have got a beautiful indoor facility. Looks like you could land a Boeing 747 in.
Here's Thomas on 2nd and 9, gets away from Trotter and picks up a first down. Matt Bowen finally brings him down at the 48-yard line, a 16-yard pickup as we send it west to Los Angeles.
Regulation back to Kenny and Brian.
All right, JP, it looked like Matt Bowen injured his hamstring, replaced by Todd Franz at free safety. Here's Anthony Thomas down to the Redskins' 46-yard line.
He's taking a look down there at Olin Kreutz, the Pro Bowl center. Got a good block that time. Right there in the middle, and Anthony Thomas right now. You know, Olin Kreutz, you know, watch him here in the middle. Did a good job of just knocking Lionel Dalton right out of the way. Got a good seal block around him. It's just a counter play, so you want the defense to go one way on the counter and then wheel on him and screen him, and that's what he just did.
I guess they plan to destroy it eventually.
Well, he actually has tickets to the World Series if the Cubs could have gotten it.
Grossman, complete to Des White. Tackled at the 20 by Fred Smoot. 20-yard pickup, Grossman to White.
Kid looks pretty special, I tell you. He's comfortable in the pocket. He's a pure pocket quarterback now. Nice ball fake that time. The ball's in good position. Des White coming across the formation. Got Fred Smoot on his tail. That's right where you want it. You want the ball in stride to be able to do something with it afterwards. Bears got themselves a passing game.
Buck bounces in front of McQuarters. He fields it at the 20. Down the sidelines. Penalty flag. Knocked out of bounds by John Simon, and then some extracurricular. Back. 2nd and 10 from the 21. Quick drop, and the pass caught by Marty Booker. Booker extending to the 29-yard line. Gain of 8. Setting up 3rd down and 2. Bro setting a dubious record. 3rd down and 2 now for the Bears. Anthony Thomas. Good second effort, and he looks to have the first down with 4:15 remaining. His 200th NFL sack earlier today. Grossman on 3rd and 11. Pass is caught by David Terrell. His first catch of the day, and it's a huge reception for the Bears.
Big time throw. Big time throw, pretty good protection. Kid is comfortable in the pocket. Watch him in the pocket here. Starts to collapse, doesn't panic, gets the feet set, and then just rifles it. And that's what he wanted to work on today, was being more accurate with his throws. And he has been, much more than last week.
22 yards. Here's Thomas up the middle. Terrell, the 9th different receiver Grossman has connected with in today's game.
Yeah, you know, the guy that just up until last week didn't take any reps with the offense, the starting offense. So he hasn't had much chance to work with David Terrell and Marty Booker and these guys.
Bears will let the clock wind all the way down to the 2-minute warning. 2nd down and 7 from the 44. Here's Thomas, he slipped. And then able to pick up 4 down to the Washington 40. About 3 yards shy of the first down marker. Brian, we are told an incredible finish in Jacksonville with a 500 record. 35 seconds to go from the Redskins 37. Grossman complete to Des White. White down to the 27-yard line. Bears call timeout. 9-yard pickup. White shaken up. A 45-yard attempt. Ettinger's season long is 54. From the right hash, Brad Maynard will hold. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it is good from 45. From goat to hero.
I think if you look at these fans and the players and the excitement that's in this building, I don't see how in the world you could change coaches. Watch, Ettinger plays the wind here. He kicks this ball hard left and played the wind. We've all been out in the golf course before where you got to play the fade, and he plays the fade here. The ball ends up being right down the middle and just barely.
Just had the distance.
Yeah.
He missed 2 earlier, and he just came back with a big kick at the end.
He sure did. The smallest of the Bears makes the biggest play. Don't hurt him in there. He's got another game to play. But the home season is concluded, and on a high note against the Washington Redskins. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Instant Replay. In the short term, it's going to be a happy holiday for diehard Bears fans with visions of Rex Grossman and Justin Gage dancing in their heads. There are good times ahead for this team, but the question is hanging out there, who's the coach who'll reap the benefits? Dick Duran didn't do himself any damage today. The Bears and the Skins in the 2003 Soldier Field finale. The kid quarterback Rex Grossman in there against his old college coach Steve Spurrier, who's feeling his own heat in Washington. Rocky start for the Bears. 2 turnovers in the first 4 plays. Grossman picked by Fred Smoot, ruled down by contact. It led to a field goal, 3-0. So how did Grossman react? Like this. To Marty Booker. A money throw up the right sideline. Booker beat Champ Bailey. And the Bears had the lead, a 59-yard play, and a piece of advice from Marty. That Lambeau leap only works up in Green Bay. Skins came back with the answer. The old ball coach reached into the trick bag. Rod Gardner, the wide receiver, throws back to Chad Morton, and it's 10-10 after 1. Then late in the second, Tim Hasselbeck locked in on Lavernius Coles, and Washington has the halftime lead 17-10. But the Bears grind it out to start the second half. It's Grossman to Justin Gage, a 13-play drive and a tie game. And after the Skins went 3 and out, another long Bears drive with the A train behind the wheel. Anthony Thomas gained 43 yards on this possession. The last 4 yards put his team back in front 24-17 as they headed for the 4th. But Washington struck right back in only 5 plays. Hasselbeck to Coles, and we're tied again at 24. Now the Bears had a chance to go back in front, but Paul Ettinger had a terrible time playing the wind out there. Wide right, not once, but twice. Bears did get the ball back, and here's Grossman on 3rd down and 11. A bullet to David Terrell for 22 and a first down. Bears did not manage the clock very well, and Ettinger was looking at a 45-yarder into that same win, but this time he played the fade. His kick is perfect with 5 seconds left, and the Bears close out their first season at the new Soldier Field with some late December drama. They win it by 3. They finish 6-2 in the new ballpark, a 27-24 victory over Washington. The best game of the A-Train's year, 141 yards on the ground. Combine that with Rex Grossman's 247 yards and 2 touchdowns, and you come up with a happy ending to the home season.
It was a great win for our team, and to go, finish 6-2 here at the new Soldier Field. The facility's outstanding. The fans have been great when we've given them something to cheer about, and it was a good feeling.
Minnesota did it last year, and they're right there in contention with winning this division and going on to the playoffs. So it's definitely rewarding to finish up strong. And the good thing about this team is that we actually found out what type of guys we have.
Christmas Field will be delightful. If we go to McDonald's, it's going to be delightful Christmas. Without question, that was huge. That was a huge win. The guys deserved it. They fought hard for it.
That they did, right to the final 5 seconds. They don't have any playoffs to look forward to, but the Bears have plenty to play for. Their own pride, their coach, and the fans that come out in a cold December wind regardless of the record. Rich King has more from the new Soldier Field.
It was an unbelievable kick under the circumstances.
Those circumstances were a swirling, gusting wind that gave Paul Ettinger fits all afternoon. He had missed 2 previous field goal tries.
Just kept my head in there, knew it was going to come down. Offense was moving it down. I just, everybody holds snaps. I just had to kick it through.
How hard was the wind there?
How bad was the wind today? It was a pretty good win. I just, I had to play it, and finally figured it out on the 3rd one.
The wind, right when we got in our stances on the field goal, the wind just started blowing like crazy. And, I guess he hit it good enough to cut through the wind and right down the middle. I thought it was short until I saw the guy's hands go up.
As for Rex Grossman, his second game featured his first NFL touchdown pass when he nailed Marty Booker for 59 yards. Rex passing for 247 yards, and you can't beat a 2-0 record as a starter.
I really felt a lot more comfortable going into the game, knowing what to expect, and being able to critique myself from one game to another definitely helps you get better and better and better.
Anthony Thomas had his 4th 100-yard game of the season, most of his damage coming in the second half, Train doing some nifty running, and the line doing some nifty blocking.
We came in and made some adjustments. They were doing some different things to us, and we came in at halftime, made some adjustments, and we went out and just kept going at it, kept pounding at it, and finally the ball was popping out there for 10, 12 yards a pop, and it was nice.
Just wanted to use the clock. Try to have the time possession in our favor, so that's one of the things we went in the second half, try to run the ball and try to get some yards and try to get the time on the clock.
While Steve Spurrier kept the Bears defense on edge with 2 trick plays in the game, was actually the Bears offense that won this game in the 3rd period. 2 long drives killed the clock. The Bears had the ball for 13 minutes. The Skins just 4 plays in that period, and the Bears wind up 6-2 here at home for the year at Soldier Field. Rich King for Instant Replay.
Okay, Rich, pretty good numbers out there today. The Bears dominated in first downs, rush yards, time of possession. They did a great job stopping Washington on 3rd down today, and for a change, a couple of early turnovers did not come back to bite them on the rear end. But it took 59 minutes and 55 seconds to finally decide this one.